Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and of course hang out with you and talk about all kinds of things, including anime? Question mark? Definitely. We're definitely going to talk about anime. Anyway, I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote into chat. I'm giving a shout out to Harold, who is hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold, as always. I should say, right off the bat, hi. Um, if you are a subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If your subscription needs to be renewed, now is a great time to do it. Let's get back up over 40. Let's do it. On Saturday, I'm giving away a model kit or Lego set. I cannot remember what. Lashbrook's here. What's up, Lashbrook? To one of my current subscribers. I don't remember who's getting what. I'm looking it up right now because I do not know otherwise. It is the 25th. Yeah. Oh, the Lego Y-Wing. The Lego Y-Wing. That's a great Lego set. That's a big, awesome looking Lego set that a current subscriber is going to win if there is a current subscriber on Saturday. Harold's here, of course. Lord Crashton's here. What's up? What's up? Someone just renewed. Hey, if you're renewed and the notification is there and you can click the notification so that it pops up and we all know, please do that. You don't have to, but I love it if you would. But yeah, that's a reminder. If you use your Twitch Prime coin, you got to manually renew that. If you don't, if you're using cash money, you can also still have that. Dude Wants to Rug is here. What's up? But yeah, make sure you renew by Sunday or Saturday when I do that drawing because you could win a built Lego set. You don't even have to build it. Or, if you wanted to, here's what you could do. You get this Lego Y-Wing in the mail from me that I mail out to you. You get it. You start taking it apart. You get yourself a brick separator. You ask me, Pat, could you include a brick separator? I know you have like 15 of them in your apartment. I do. I'll include a brick separator if you wanted one, if you ever asked for it. And then you take that apart, and then you build it yourself. And you do it better than I did. Which wouldn't be hard because I'm very distracted as I build. So that's the thing you could do. I don't know. We're building a man today. We're building a Kamen Rider. Now, do I know? Ask me anything about Kamen Rider. Here's what I know about Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider, live action series, long running live action series. Lots of different characters, main characters, supporting characters, characters who died, characters who came back. There's transformations. There's intricate things that have to go into other things on a belt. You know, like Power Ranger-ish. You know, it's that kind of Sentai thing. And then, like, there are bad people and bad guys and bad ladies and bad non-binary folks. And they got to get beaten up. And at a certain point, you could just start taking, like, chips or belts and combining them. And then you could be, like, parts of different people. But in this particular case, it's two dudes linked together. I'm going to read the description in my booklet here out loud before we get going in the pre-show. A 2-in-1 Kamen Rider, which Private Eye Detective Shitori Hidari and his partner Philip transform into by inserting the Joker memory and Cyclone memory into the double driver. They fight against Dupants and cause particular incidents to save Futo. I have to assume that's right. And also, there are a bunch of them. So, like, Cyclone can combine with different people. You can see through where he's green. The green guy can combine with different people. And then I guess if I buy other kits in this series, I can take them apart and mix and match them. I also want to say there's a battle pose thing that, hey, we don't always do battle poses, but we're doing this because we can separate them and like make them be like like they're being split in half, and I don't know why, but I don't know. Y'all, I saw this available, and it's a figurized kit. We've built figurized kits. We've built almost every Dragon Ball kit possible, and we've built Naruto. So it's inevitable that we would do something else in the figurized series. Now, did I think that was going to be Ultraman? Yes. Do I know that Ultraman is very expensive in the secondary market? I'm very aware of how expensive Ultraman is. So we're not going to build an Ultraman. I got this Kamen Rider at a good price. Will we build another one? Probably. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. We've hung out enough. It might be a light night tonight. That's okay. I don't know if we're going to get raided. We've been raided lately, which has been cool. But yeah, we're going to hang out. We're going to build. I hope you're doing well tonight on this Monday. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good, chill stream full of cool people. Dr. Jones is here. What's up, Dr. Jones? When in doubt, Dr. Jones shows up. So we got some stickers. We're going to use we're going to apply some stickers here. Now, we are building a man. In this case, two halves of a man. We're also going to build that half thing because look at this cool sticker that goes there that designates the, halfness of it. Look, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know what's going on with this. A lot is happening. All I can promise you is that I'm going to do my best to make sense of this kit. And look, if you don't know anything about Kamen Rider, and all you know about Kamen Rider is what I've said, which may be incorrect, I might try to do a little more research. I can't make any promises that I will. Here's what I know about this kit. This kit does not feature the Skull Man, and that's a bummer. My favorite Kamen Rider is a minor character that his mask is a skull. But also, when he transforms, he has a fedora and he has a cape, or a scarf. Now, this guy also has a scarf. And that man, the Skull Man, also has moonwalked in the past, and I don't know anything about that character except what I just said. And I think you can understand why that's my favorite Kamen Rider. My favorite Kamen Rider is the Skull Mask Man that moonwalks and has a fedora. I think you can understand why that would be my favorite. I think that's pretty clear and accurate. All right, so Milady, indeed. Look, like I said, he could be a villain. He could be an anti-hero. He could be the best Kamen Rider. He could be the worst Kamen Rider. I don't know. I just know those facts about him, and therefore I made the decision that he was going to be my favorite. And I'll take my lumps if it turns out that he sucks. I've got to check in with my friend Ian. Is obsessed with the series and has been for a very long time. I will say I'm a little mad at him for not telling me that these were coming out. But also, I am going to ask him to tell me more about the series so that I can educate myself. All right, so we got to put that here. We're putting this silver piece in here so that the eyeball reflects some. I don't know why these all look like Caracross. I assumed that Big Bad Beetleborgs was some sort of knockoff of Kamen Rider, and that is why a lot of Kamen Rider helmets are very bug-like. Is because that somebody made a decision a long time ago that was the raddest choice possible. In general, when it's something I don't really know a lot about, and I've done some research, but I certainly haven't done as much research as I could. My assumption is generally, hello Ultron, is generally that, why is it like that? Well, somebody thought that it was rad, and that's where they're going with it. Somebody was like, this is the raddest choice we could make at this moment. Sometimes it's maybe the idea that there are so many Kamen Riders out there, and they can interchange with one another was a marketing thing, so they could sell more figures or toys or or lunch boxes. I don't know. I don't know. Stop thinking that I know, because I don't. I do know that we just built half a head, and that's pretty good. And that still, right now, is a weird thing to say. I built half a head of this person. And now I'm going to build the other half. Now, which one is Cyclone and which one is Joker? I think the green one is Cyclone because he's got a scarf. Like, that's my thinking, is that the one with the scarf is Cyclone because, like, wind. And then you have a scarf. And the black one is Joker. And I don't have a good reason for that. Except that he's the one without the cape or scarf. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the lore of this thing. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to some things in this world. I can talk to you about the build process. Um, at least it doesn't have flesh-colored pieces like DBZ kits. Lashbrook, that can be weird. Um, we've talked about it. There were moments in the Android 18 build where I felt a little odd, and always is the case when building with flesh color, because I think this is a cyber body. I think these are two cyber, like they use the. Again, I'm outside of my elements here. I'm talking about things that I do not understand and doing my best. But yeah, I will. I don't look. I also don't know if I'm gonna have any time before Wednesday. By the time we get to Wednesday, we're gonna finish. This is a 2-stream build. We're gonna be done on Wednesday, our next build stream. So like, I don't have much time to do research, and I don't have much time to do research. I got asked to be on a friend's podcast on Saturday, and he was like, "Oh, it's a games podcast. It'll be really fun." And I was like, "Cool." I haven't played too many games this year. Like I'm working, I've just been, working a lot lately, and before that, wasn't playing games. And he's like, "It's okay. It's about games that are formative for you." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to send you a survey to fill out before the podcast." And I was like, I already agreed to do the podcast. Now I have to fill out a survey. I'm going to give you homework, huh? All right. I work 8 hours a day and then prep for streams and then also try to live a bit of my life. And okay. I'm mostly joking, but I also was like, I don't want to do homework. Okay, so that's page 31. Okay, great. Because tomorrow night we're going to be playing Jackbox on stream. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be playing some Jackbox. I hope you'll be able to come hang out. It's the monthly bonus game stream, which I try to do, to the point, monthly. So, I haven't done a game stream in a bit. I'm excited to do it tomorrow night. Last week I thought I was going to be able to do it, and that's because I was very foolish about how tired I would be after the stream. So I didn't, or after Anime NYC, so I didn't do a game stream last week. So we'll do a game stream this week. It'll be fun. We're going to play Jackbox again. That's tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we'll be building again because Thursday is American Thanksgiving. And I made the choice that I don't want to stream Thursday night. I don't want to I might be back in time from my Thanksgiving meal to stream. but I made the choice that I wasn't going to plan on it. Instead, I'm going to stream tomorrow. And then I was like, maybe I'll actually stream Friday and do like another bonus, and like maybe that would be the game stream. Maybe I was going to do a game stream on Friday because I'm not teching on Friday because the theater I work at is closed on Friday. But then I got my work schedule, and my work schedule is Friday night instead of Friday during the day, which is fine. And I understand it's going to be a busy day. So I'm working the evening shift because I'm available, which is okay and fine. I'm having trouble getting this eye on. I didn't have any trouble with the other eye. Let's maybe it'll just come together when I do the rest of this. But yeah, I ended up with a evening shift for my day job on Friday. So I made cornbread for our potluck at work today. It turned out good. Ultron, that sounds rad. Yeah, does anybody have any pre-Thanksgiving festivities they're doing instead of like, like Friendsgivings? Like, did you go to like a, hey, we're not around for Thanksgiving, let's hang out this weekend thing over the weekend? Does anybody do anything like that? I don't have anything necessarily planned like that other than proper American Thanksgiving on Thursday. I guess maybe tomorrow while we're playing Jackbox games, we could talk about what we're thankful for. Maybe. I don't know. There we go. That fit in there. Took a second. Great. All right. Oops. Yeah, this does not want to stay it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens when it's all together. But this eye does not like to hang out. Dr. Jones says, I'm lucky I still get to go to my parents' place. My mom makes an awesome dinner for everyone. Hell yeah. Not sure how much longer that'll be the case, so trying to enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah. I'm going to see Frozen 2 with the family tomorrow and trivia tomorrow night. Nice, Harold. That sounds rad. That sounds like a good family time. If you're back in time for the stream, jump in. If not, I get it, and have fun. That sounds great. Sounds great Tuesday night. So, speaking of that, Dr. Jones, I can talk about Thanksgiving for me. Now, so, folks that have been here for a while know that my parents lived in Connecticut for most of my life. And I lived with them in Connecticut until I moved to New York. I've lived here in New York basically so I grew up in Connecticut, moved to Albany for a year, moved back to Connecticut for a couple months, moved to New York. Moved in a bunch of places in New York, never left New York proper since. Have not left. New England, so there's oysters in our stuffing. There would be I have a relative that would do oysters and stuffing. Yeah, my mom and dad are having Thanksgiving at their house for the first time in a very long time. Looking forward to it because I don't have the time to travel and visit relatives. I don't want to see. Exactly, Ultron. I get it, right? That's the worst when you're like, well, I'm going to go all this way, and then people I don't want to be with are going to be there. Great. So my folks live in Connecticut, right? Now I lived in New York. Folks that don't know, New York to Connecticut, not a hard travel. You can take a bus, you can take a train, you could drive if you have a car very easily. There are people who live in, who work in New York City that commute to Connecticut every day, and there are people who live in New York that commute, or that commute from Connecticut, and there are people that also like commute too. When you think about like most WWE employees, not all of them live in Connecticut. A lot of them commute to Connecticut from New Jersey or New York or wherever. So I was always able to see my parents for quite a few years. I would always go and visit them for Thanksgiving. And then my parents moved to South Carolina. And it certainly did not make sense for me to go to South Carolina for a weekend. So a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, I suddenly didn't have Thanksgiving plans. After almost my entire life, I had Thanksgiving plans. It was just my parents. Because either I lived there or it was very easy to commute there. And then suddenly, I didn't have plans and I didn't know what to do, and it was a bit of an existential crisis. Harold says we're doing a Mediterranean Thanksgiving at my sister's. Ooh, all right. Changing it up, mixing it up. Okay, that sounds cool. So, my friend Lauren, who I don't see as much anymore, we kind of drifted off. Our friend group kind of shrunk, and it was harder for us to hang out. But Lauren Taylor will always mean the world to me because I basically posted on Facebook saying, "Hey, please invite me to your Friendsgivings. For the first time in my life, I don't have anywhere to be. My folks don't live close enough anymore." And she said, "Well, I'm going to Poughkeepsie. Come to Poughkeepsie. You sleep downstairs. You'll have a meal with my whole family. It'll be a thing. It's a big Italian Thanksgiving." And then she goes, "We have turkey and meatball soup. It's a thing." And I went, "Okay." So Lauren, who I had spent some time with, we're friends, but had never like traveled with. I mean, it wasn't far. Poughkeepsie's not far from New York City, but we went on a journey, and it was great. And I was like a little worried because like we were friends, but we weren't like super tight. And then I also had never met anyone in her family. But I didn't have to worry. One, because I'm very good with family and parents. I am so good. Anything good about me and how I communicate with you and how I share my passions with you and talk about things in a way that make you maybe want to give something a shot or at least second guess why you don't like that thing. I'm the same thing with parents. Older people, they love me. They always have. And two, Lauren's sister her boyfriend came, and he's Australian. So it was his first American Thanksgiving. So finding out what he thought about the day was way more important than Lauren's friend from New York. Lauren's friends from New York, whatever, you having a good time? This is cool, great. What's the Australian think? It was perfect. He was completely unintentional, but he stole focus, and it was great. Because as much as I don't mind, being the center of attention, it was way better for him to be the center of attention and for me to just be a person. It was also great because Lauren is an improviser. But her parents had come to see shows. So they knew what it was. And because then this is a very small thing, right? But everybody does this, right? When you go and you hang out with a lot of strangers, inevitably someone asks, "What do you do?" Right? And if they don't know what you do, they only have their version of what you do in their head. And then so they're going to jump to that, right? So if you say, "Oh, I do comedy," well, not everyone, but a lot of people aren't going to think like, "Oh, you act in funny videos on the internet," or, "Oh, you do improv and you've studied for a really long time." They're going to think, "Oh, well, tell me a joke, stand up. You do stand up, right? You're a comedian. That's what I know. I've heard the term the improv. I know that means an improv, that means stand up," which it does. The Improv is the name of a stand-up place, which has always been a point of annoyance for people trying to explain. But they already knew, so that was the best. I didn't have to explain that. I did have to explain why I thought Cards Against Humanity was better than Apples to Apples, and then, well, why aren't we playing Cards Against Humanity? Because at the time, Cards is still a popular game, but was really hot like 5 years ago. And it was a thing that Lauren and I played a lot. It was part of our a board game group, our tabletop group. Played a lot of cards because it was an easy way to get people who don't play a lot of games to try something, right? But I basically explained, I was like, "Hey, do you ever hear a song? A song comes on the radio and the lyrics aren't appropriate and you like the song, but then you're with someone and you're like, 'Oh, I hope they don't hear that line that I know isn't a good line.'" And she's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "That's Cards Against Humanity. I think it's great, but I would be very embarrassed if you heard some of the lyrics." I don't know. It was a really fun time. And since then, I have had a Friendsgiving to go to every year. It hasn't been Lauren's. Lauren's was just that one magical year when I really needed it. I needed family. I have found family, and I'm grateful for my found family. The people that I'm going to be hanging out with on Thursday, I'm so grateful to have them in my life. Uh, but uh, but I needed a family, even if it wasn't my own. I needed to go and hang out with a bunch of people that I didn't know super well, but that all loved each other and put up with each other and did the whole thing. The Dr. Jones, the turkey meatball soup was real good. It was really tasty. It was like I don't normally have soup on Thanksgiving, so but also you give yourself over, right? Uh, I remember I got there and I didn't know Lauren's dad at all, and so we were talking and blah blah blah, and he said like you're not gonna be one of those guys, right? And I was like, I don't know what you mean, but I won't. And he goes, you're not gonna get mad that I cut the turkey, right? And I just went, Mr. Taylor, it's your house. And he goes, no one's ever said that before. And everyone laughed because he's just like, hey, everybody, did you hear? This is my house. And it was like really funny. This is a guy who's just like really had a good time. And like I said, I'm real good with parents. I am so good with parents. You have no idea. And you're right, of course. I want to cut that turkey because I know exactly how to do it, and I'm very good at it. Of course, I want to cut that turkey. I want to nail it. I want to carve that up perfectly. I want to get the proper tools. I want to make sure that my knife is sharp. I want to make sure that I got a wet rag or towel underneath my cutting board, that I have space around it, that I've got 2 plates. Don't come here with 1 plate. You got to give me 2 platters. You got to give me a white meat platter, and then you got to give me a dark meat platter. Because some people like to put the dark meat around the white meat, but I'm cutting off the dark meat first, and I got to put it somewhere. Otherwise, I'm piling white meat on top of the dark meat, and I don't want to do that. So let me put the dark meat on its own plate or platter, and then, once I've plated all of this beautiful white meat, then around the edges, I'll lay in the wings. I'll lay in the turkey legs. Maybe I'll put some skin on the side for those that really need that crispy skin with a little gravy on it. I got you. Let me take care of it. Give you 2 knives. I'm probably going to need a second knife. Don't hand me a big fork. Crispy skin, right? Dr. Jones, it depends on how they cook the bird. That's not my job. I'll cook that bird for you, but I'm really focused, on the carving. On Thursday, I get to carve. My friend, a good friend of mine, he goes and buys. He gets a turkey that's roasted at a Jamaican place that's near where we're going to be eating, and it's like pre-done, and you just have to reheat it, right? You're basically just heating it up, but it's got this the skin is so good, it's so juicy and crispy, and it's a Jamaican place. It tastes incredible. And it's not overpowering, but it's so good. And we'll reheat it in the oven. They'll take it out, and they'll put it on a board, and they'll let me cut it. Because, are you going to Khalees for Thanksgiving? No, I'm not. No, I love Khalif. If we were in the same area, I know he would go. He would be great. No, this is like he buys a chicken and doesn't do it himself because New York. Look, the fact that where we're going has a decent kitchen. Yeah. Khalif is in Portland. No, I've never shared a non-con meal with Khalif. I love that man, and we are long overdue for a good meal that one of us prepared. But I only see him in conventions, so you got to do what you got to do. But no, I want to take we go and they prepare all this stuff because the head of the household, my Thanksgiving meal this Thursday, is a vegetarian. And he's certainly not opposed to having a Thanksgiving meal. But he's like, hey, you're going to do a better job carving this than I'm going to do. Because you understand the bird better. And I don't know if that's true, but I also know I'm real good at carving. I'm real good at it. I learned and I have always attempted to get better at it. I've studied it, and I am so excited about it. Hey, really quick before I forget, because I will forget, chat. I'm asking you for a favor, please. At 10 p.m., which is obviously 25 minutes from now, 10 p.m. Eastern, 25 minutes from now, 26 minutes from now, please tell me to take 2 pills that I have to take. I have 2 pills over here that I need to take at 10 p.m. And I'll explain. Everything's okay. I just have to take them at 10 because if I don't take them at 10, I risk not being able to fall asleep tonight. You may remember last week I was complaining about some dental pain. I am going to go into. I have been to the dentist. I'm going properly into the dentist on Wednesday to finally take care of my issues that I have. So I'm doing that on Wednesday. So right now I have to take some pain medication so that I don't. So I'm not in intense pain. And it's been fine, except at night it really aggravates. It really feels bad in the evening. And it throbs in a way that makes it hard for me to sleep. So I got to take a couple pills at 10 o'clock so that I can go to bed later. And I have to take them early enough. Also have to take them early enough so that I can... the caffeine will wear off. So we perfect together on Thanksgiving because I would love to cook the perfect bird, but I don't want to carve the damn thing. Oh, Dr. Jones, I love carving. Well, my sister's vegan, and my mother recently had to go vegan, which is why we're doing the Mediterranean Thanksgiving. Harold, look. Thanksgiving traditions are only traditions because you do them. That is not me trying to say something like mind-breaking or me trying to be like whatever. It's practical, right? Our traditions exist because we did it once and said, I guess this is what we do. That's why new traditions exist, is because we force them. We force traditions, right? I don't know why you get a can of cranberries and eat that at Thanksgiving. Why don't we put cranberries on turkey other times of the year? It's good. But that's what Thanksgiving is. And then some people, peanuts are... I don't know why peanuts are a big part of some people's Thanksgiving, but they are. Other people, not at all. Some people, it's not Thanksgiving unless they get mac and cheese. They got to get a mac and cheese casserole, or it's not Thanksgiving. Me, I never had that growing up. Never had mac and cheese part of my Thanksgiving. Feels weird to me, but it's people, right? Oh yeah, no, Harold, no, totally. Yes, the host of our event, Sebastian, is vegetarian, and so it is. But no, I'm glad you brought it up, Harold, because we should be talking about that. We should be talking about these preconceived notions that it's not Thanksgiving unless, right? And that was the thing I had to deal with, right? In the reality of, to me, for years and years and years, Thanksgiving was, I'll see my folks, my grandma when she was still with us, my great uncle would come over. That's Thanksgiving. That's not Thanksgiving anymore. Now, my new tradition for the past few years has been I go and see my friends. I spend Thanksgiving with them. And they host. My friend Brett wants people to come early. Brett and Sebastian, lovely couple. They have the Christmas party that I go to every year. They will. Brett wants people to come and watch the parade. No one ever does. He always invites people to come very early, and no one ever does. I come early, but I get there before the parade is over. You had traditional quote unquote Thanksgiving dinner at work last week. Oh, cool. I'm glad you. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you had that Thanksgiving. A friendsgiving is a joyous, wonderful thing, or work giving, or just like people time. People time is important. I'm always pro people time. All right, so we got our green part here. We got our we got to go over here. We got to go over here. Sorry. We got a green body. We got our centerpiece of the body. Now we got to build the other side of the body. So we'll start working on that now too. But yeah, I really do look forward to seeing everybody and to hanging out. There'll be a few people I haven't seen in a while. Ooh, I should see. I don't remember the list. Gotta see. Oh yeah. All right. One of my friends I thought was coming isn't on the list. Most likely is doing family Thanksgiving, which is a mistake because her family drives her up the wall. So maybe don't. But that's not for me to say. That's never for me to say. But I do know that she'd have more fun with us, and it'll be more relaxing time than the stress that is family. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Thanksgiving stuff. And to have that day off, that'll be nice. Um, Yesterday was a good day. I streamed Saturday, then Sunday I caught up on some stuff. I slept in. I did laundry, which was good. Got a little caught up on some podcasts, and then I went and did some work at the theater that I work at. We are off this week, so um, I'm very excited because uh, I have so Sunday I just have my other work, right? Because I'm not working this Thursday, so I am working this coming Sunday, which also means that I'll work 6 days in a row. I think right now, and I don't love that. I guess I would prefer to not have that because I haven't got my schedule for the week after. But I don't know. Uh, it will be nice not to work on Thursday, and then I'm working Friday night. I'm not working Saturday. Then I'm working Sunday, a normal shift, but it'll be on Sunday. But then I won't tech. Uh, and then I know I'm working Monday, my normal shift. Um, I also put in my time on Sunday thinking that I was going to be teching as well, which I'm not. So I'll be done early, which will be fine. Um, but yeah, uh, you got to look forward to these things, right? And for those folks that are out there that don't have that, or if Thursday is just Thursday for you this week, then I hope you have a good Thursday. Um, and like I said, I was thinking about maybe streaming, but I'd rather have my time uh, with folks, so I'm going to take advantage of that time that I have with them. And then Saturday will be fun. Gonna have a good stream. Um, so we're doing the Common Rider, and I made a decision, right? Common Rider shouldn't take too long to do, but the thing we're gonna do after that is the Going Merry. We're gonna build a ship because I want to build it. I just want to build it. I just don't want to wait. So this won the poll. The Common Rider won the poll, but this is the next thing we're building is the Going Merry because I think the Going Merry is a really fun kit, and we'll talk in the second hour about One Piece and all that because there's stuff happening and it's weird. Harold, before I chat about it, let me know. Did you watch today's or this week, which came out tonight, Road Quest from Loading Ready Run? Because if you didn't, I'll wait until you have. But I want to find out before I mention the thing. Because I don't want to spoil it because you're the only person in chat I know that watched it. So I want to make sure that I'm not being rude. You did see it. Great. So, for those that don't know, that haven't been paying attention, Loading Ready Run, the fine folks at Loading Ready Run, friends of the stream, have a thing. They shot all this footage. They're putting it together. It's coming out weekly. It's a road trip across Canada for some members of the crew. It is a fun trip, and there's planned adventures. They don't know where they're going to be going and what they're going to be doing, and it's a whole thing. And then there's some some stuff where they're kind of like going off on their own and doing their own thing, and it's cool, especially if you've never seen the parts of Canada they're in. And many of them on the trip haven't seen these parts of Canada, so it's interesting to see their perspective as well. Well, one of the performers last week had a gag where he was going to build a piece of gunpla in the car as they were driving. And this week he had round two, which was a Lego set. Now we didn't see any building of it. We just saw the box, and then the reference that he was going to be assembling a Lego set. Now what comes of this, I do not know. Is there a third beat of it? I do not know. Harold, in my opinion, I was thinking about this because I thought you would bring it up. If you're going to do Gunpla Week 1, also the person he's driving with, one of the reasons Alex is a builder, but the person he's driving with does a show called Soldier Tailor Solder Fry. He does a like model kit and assembly building series. Ian Horner from Loading Ready Run. So I Tinker Tailor Solder Fry. Yes, that's the name of it, which is a very good name for that show. So my thinking is, one, if he's going to be going into if Alex is going to be continuing the joke of building things, Gundam Lego or Gunpla Lego, the third would be papercraft. My assumption is that he would find some sort of papercraft, and that's the thing he would build third. Now, following the rules of, or the idea of doing things that Ian would build or has built in the past on Tinker Tailor, because part of the gag, the subtle part of the gag is, oh, you're driving. Well, while you're driving, I'm going to build the thing that you'd like to build. So that's what my think is. He's going to get some sort of garage kit and do some like try to solder, and he's going to like build like an Arduino thing. That's my actual thought instead of papercraft. I think it'll be one of those two, Harold. That's my prediction. Is that unless that's the end of it and there is no joke beyond it, but I think there's going to be more of a joke. Because I think there needs to be a third beat of that joke. You got to keep heightening, my friends. You can't just leave it where it is. But I think it is a good gag. The show is fun. I recommend it. It's it's just a YouTube series. It's shot really well. There's been some interesting characters, and like I said, it helps if you know the personalities, but I don't think you need to. Here's the basic. You've got older nerds and younger nerds. That's it. That's really it. And James is a magic nerd. So he's a weird kind of not nerd. He's like James Turner is a video game playing nerd and a Magic the Gathering playing nerd, but he's got jock energy. So he's kind of like I would say that if you didn't know anything about him, I would say he's like a football stats nerd or like a fantasy football nerd, like that kind of nerd. That's James. The end of the episode midday, so it's probably 2 weeks before you see the next step. Yes, Harold, certainly. It'll be a while. It'll be a couple episodes before we get the third beat of this joke. But most of the people are like, oh, Beej, he ran an anime club. Sure he did, and sold bootleg anime CDs on a website. I'm a little surprised they talked more about anime than Magic during the trip. I think legitimately everyone on that trip knows enough about anime. Well, Adam doesn't, but he's nice and wants to talk about things and learn. He's polite. He's a good boy. Whereas I think Beej Derry knows more about Magic the Gathering than I do, and I've played it some, But I think through osmosis, he knows more about it than I do. But also does not know anything about that shit. But knows a lot about anime. I believe only Beej isn't into magic. Yes, so. And the great unifier, Harold, the great unifier is Ben, who is into everything. And even if he isn't into the things they are, he has a knowledge of them. Somehow, the young boy knows the most and can ride through the different conversations. He can bridge the gap between the generations. Um, it is that thing where like uh, I like the people they chose, but I do think that um, Loading Ready Run like has a much more a more diverse personality types of people, but this is, also take a week to go and do this adventure thing. I understand that's not the easiest thing in the world. Uh, well, he was he was at East this or not Ben. No, Ben wasn't. That's right. Yes. No. Yes. Ben was not at East. Beej was at East. And that was cool. I agree. I will see Ben at Unplugged in 2 weeks. Oh boy, I have more work to do about my panel in 2 weeks. But yeah, Ben will be there. I forget exactly who's going as far as Unplugged, and but I know that Ben is part of the Unplugged crew. I'll talk Harold. I'll talk up east when I see Ben. All right, so we're gonna do. Got to build more of the body. We got the head done, and we got the chest done. See, these are pretty simple. These things are pretty straightforward builds. I enjoyed them very much, but they're not. They're 1.5 to 2 stream builds, which is fine. And also, like, I like breaking up the stuff that we do here. Um, if this channel was purely just we build master grades and RE100s and real grades and then more master grades, I mean, it would still be really fun because Gunpla rules, and I'm not against building fucking cool-ass Gunpla. Do not get it twisted. But I also like to do different stuff and to mix things up and to keep myself interested because it'd be tough. During Desert Bus, Beach mentioned switching up who goes each packs. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea what their plans are. I know uh, that not everybody can go to every convention, and that not everyone can, not everybody has the time to take the time to travel, and or have been doing it a long time, and maybe like would like to have less. Like, hey, that's a thing that I'm aware of when it comes to PAX, right? I love it, but a lot of my friends are starting to be like, well, I'm not going to 2 PAXs a year anymore. I'm going to go to 1 PAX. And then they'll be like, this is the year I don't go to any PAXs. When I reached out to my friends at Crunchyroll events about, hey, in 2020, if you're thinking about having me for anything, let me know. I still included, just not Crunchyroll Expo, because I don't want to go to Crunchyroll Expo. I do want to go to Crunchyroll Expo. I should make that clear. I do very much want to go to Crunchyroll Expo. I'm not going to Crunchyroll Expo because it's the same weekend as PAX West. And I, at this time, do not see myself skipping PAX West. Maybe someday I will, but right now, no thanks. This looks so cool as it's coming together. I think. I think this just looks rad. It's like the line down the middle to show the two halves. I just think this looks so neat. All right, so it's B2. I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm at right now when it comes to, um, like convention stuff. I get it. People are like getting a little tired of those things. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before we take our pause for the cause, which will be in a little bit. I'll be drinking some water. I will be eating, not eating, I will be having, taking a couple pills so that I can sleep tonight. I should say this. Hey, why don't we have we never shy away from real conversations. Let's have a real conversation. Hashtag real conversations. I'm not self-medicating right now. I'll make it clear. I'm not self-medicating. Um, I am taking some. Uh, 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 Still, thank you very much, Dr. Jones. Appreciate that. I'm taking some still, you know, over the counter, but very strong pain relief. Mostly at night. During the day, I'm fine because I do not have dental insurance right now. So my options are places that take care credit or payment plans. And the people I want to see who are going to do a good job that I've been to in the years past I'm totally happy with that. Their scheduling is limited for when I am available. And I also needed to plan out enough time to be like, hey, day job. I need to work early on Wednesday so I can take a couple hours off to go to the dentist to take care of this. So I can get a tooth extracted. And they were like, what if you didn't go tomorrow? And I was like, what if I went on Wednesday? And they were like, yes, you could go on Wednesday. And I was like, great. So I'm going to go on Wednesday. I'm going to take a couple hours, go do this thing on Wednesday, come back, keep working. I'd probably actually go to a coffee shop to keep working, then come home and stream Wednesday night. But I am right now taking a little bit of pain relief. Like I said, it's mostly to sleep. I also have, this is obviously not an endorsement, but Dr. Jones just cheered. Dental pill bits. Thank you very much. Bits and coins are always appreciated. Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. I appreciate that. But I should take Anbesol. Anbesol. This stuff is helpful. I don't know. I've used very little of it. That stuff's pretty great. Yeah, let's throw some the Bear Cave emote in there, and thank Dr. Jones for that. Bits and coins are always appreciated. But yeah, I took it just yeah, it's been good. I'm just taking a little bit of low level pain reduction. Just like I said, most of the time I'm not even noticing it. It's just like whatever. But at night, and I think we've all been there, right? Got to take care of those teeth, right? Yep. Lashbrook, yeah. We've all been there, right? Where sometimes you're like, oh, that doesn't hurt because you're not thinking about it. Because you're like walking around and you're doing stuff and you're distracted and you got a lot going on. Harold just cheered 50 bits. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that very much. Throw those emotes back in for Harold. Because you're just kind of running around and doing whatever, right? I understand that. We've all been there, I think. But then at night sometimes, when you're just laying there and you're thinking hard about falling asleep, and you're like, if I fell asleep right now, I would get 7 3/4 of an hour of sleep. If I fell asleep right now, I'd get 7.5 hours of sleep. And then there's that like throbbing because you're like in pain. Could be a toe, could be your foot, could be your knee. Get that spasm. Okay, maybe you hurt your wrist or something. And you're like, I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. That's when it's really nice just to have a little bit of pain relief. Just so you're like, hey, I won't be thinking about this. And then I'll fall asleep. It is just a thing that is helpful. I think we could all understand that. But I generally don't, advocate for self-medication or anything like that. But I understand, and I am also gotta look out for number one, my friends. Gotta look out for number one. I don't got time to not feel great. Gotta keep it moving, keep it going. But also, I want to get this cleared up so that I can move on. And also, I don't like, it's not like I'm solving my problem right now until I go see a dentist, and then I will solve my problem. Right now, I am numbing the problem. I don't like that. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. All right, let's get these pieces connected. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the stream. If that's what you'd like to do, I will have some of, I will take pain pills and get that going. And then we will talk about some anime and some other stuff. And things you want to talk about. Because that's fun too. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little sleepy. Woke up feeling kind of groggy today. It took me a little while to get into the rhythm of living my life. I'll send a bunch of messages out today too. All right, so I need D2, 2. Oops. D2, 2. Great. All right. So, first and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber for the Build with Baer workshop, throw the Bear Cave emote, throw the Lego emote in there, let the people know. If you are not a subscriber, you can throw whatever else you want in there. Reminder that if you are a subscriber, to please make sure you renew. If you're not a subscriber, consider becoming one. At the very least, follow and turn your notifications on so you know when I stream. You use your Twitch Prime coin, which is like having money. You can use money, which is having money. That is 2 ways to support the stream that way. We'll talk about other ways in a moment. I have to drink some water, and I have to take these 2 pills, and I'm going to do that now. So, if someone wants to put in the Nightbot command for water, you could do that. Nobody. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Ultron. Thank you, Ultron. Drink some water. That's good advice. That's why I make it all capital letter. I got to pull up my Nightbot commands so that I can Nightbot command them to y'all. So, if you're like Pat, I do not want to become a subscriber, but I wouldn't mind subscribing. I watch your streams on YouTube after the fact. I watch them on VOD. I catch them live when I can. But I'm not on Twitch that much. That's not my thing. Well, have you heard of Patreon? Patreon's pretty cool. This past weekend, I just put up a Q&A that only is for Patreon. I do a monthly Q&A that only goes to Patreon. It's one of the only exclusive things I do. It's the only real one. So that's the thing you could do. If that's something you want to do, you can join my Patreon. $1, $5, $10. There's a $3 level. No one has joined the $3 level. The $3 level exists. The idea was if people wanted to give more than $1, they gave $3. And then every month I would run a poll for the $3, and they could pick a game for you to play on my not monthly bonus game stream. Well, no one has joined the $3, so I haven't done that poll. Someday I will. Just, I haven't yet. So this kit, I bought this kit because I saw it and it looked cool. If you're like, what's up, Dirty? Happy to have you here. If you're like, hey, I would buy you a kit. I understand that it's almost Christmas time. What's your wish list? Well, there it is. And of course, this is also available on my show description on the YouTube link. I've got a bunch of stuff. A lot of it is Amazon Prime. Some of it isn't. Uh, some of them go on sale sometimes. Some of them are very expensive. There's some kits that I think will be very cool to build, and some kits that I understand people are just not interested in, but I think they look neat. So someday I'll build them on my own. I'll just buy them. Uh, the fact that, look, I understand. Right now it is $39, and I get that $39 is a quite a bit of money. No misunderstanding on my part. But the fact that no one has bought the RE100 Ifrit Kai, the Blue Destiny, it's a samurai. It's a samurai model kit. And no one has bought that. And that is always surprising to me that has been on the wish list for so long. Because it's a blue samurai with cool swords. And someday and also missile launchers. Leg missile launchers. Yeah, one of these days I'll just buy it. I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet, but one of these days I will. It's a cool kit. But yeah, you can buy something on my wish list, and I'll build it on stream. And if you're like, Pat, I don't want to buy anything on Amazon, I get that. You could buy a gift card this holiday season at USA Gundam Store. Then whisper me here on Twitch, send me a DM on Twitter, and go like, hey, I got you a gift card. Here's the code. Here's the gift card code. And then I'll buy it on USA Gundam Store. That's another option. Once again, we're quickly going through the pause for the cause. We'll get back to building in just a moment. Also, donations. I have different ways to donate if that's something you like to do. Streamlabs and various other means that you could donate if that's something you'll do. Oh, I put the wrong thing in there. Sorry about that. Different ways to donate if that's something you like to do. And then I have a Discord. Please join my Discord. It's nice. It's full of really cool people. And people who post things they're working on. Other builders like yourselves. And, 3D printer people and model kit painters and all kinds of stuff. The Discord is really cool and chill. I'm a big fan of it. Last week's background and characters. This will be the last time I can promote that because next week by Wednesday, the next build stream, I will have my Thanksgiving themed one. That's right. I did film one that is Thanksgiving themed. Because why not? Background characters. That one's a pretty fun one. My last couple I've been pretty happy with. And then, do I have anything else to promote or plug? No. All right. Now we're going to talk about, we're going to keep building our Kamen Rider. And it's time to talk about some anime. So, I am now officially caught up on all the shows that I watch after my weekend of working at an anime convention and not being able to watch anime that was coming out. I am finally caught up. Also, bear in mind, I dropped the show. I dropped Radiant because I had no interest in getting caught up on that show. I might go back to it, but right now I'm happy to have it not in my life, which is a weird thing to say, but it's true. Not super enthused to go back to that show. Dirty just says, okay, Pat, you'll have something in a few days. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that, Dirty. I should say that if you buy something on the wish list, it jumps the queue. I didn't say that in my conversation, but it does. It does. If someone buys something off the wish list, I will build that before I build other things. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. I don't know what you picked up, but I'm excited to see what it's gonna be. It could be anything. I mean, generally I can just scroll through it and look to see what you picked up, but I appreciate it. That rules. Thank you very much. Hello. It's going good. Welcome, Craven. We're building a Kamen Rider. We started tonight, so in about an hour we did all this, which is cool. The figurized kits are, they're not. Look, basic is not the right term, but they are understandable. even a kit where you're building a half person, two half persons that come together, like they're straightforward. That's the term I was looking for. They're straightforward, and like the tricks and the gimmicks are understandable and approachable in a way that I always enjoyed building these kits. And the nice thing is because this kit is like not it's asymmetrical but not asymmetrical like like the cape and all that. Like there are some odd things, but the basic premise is the same, which is cool. So I want to talk about some anime shows that I've been watching. Right. Um. So. Uh. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Here's some virtual currency. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. Let's all throw the Bear Cave and Lego in the Scythe modes. Thank Craven for that. Bits and coins are always appreciated. We gotta, gotta put some people up in here, and we got the jump to the top of the top cheerers, which is great. Right before the end of the month. Appreciate that very much. All right, we got an arm there, mostly done here. We'll keep working on our arms. And, yeah, so, what was it saying? I was saying D1 and D2. What was it? Oh, yeah. So we'll start with the show that I, like, last Monday, I was like, I just finished a weekend of working at an anime convention, but I still want to watch a show that I really like. What's that show going to be? Oh, of course it's going to be my second favorite show of the season, which is Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? It's still my second favorite show of the season. It's still really solid. This episode, I thought was just going to be a Pauline backstory episode. We learned a little bit about Pauline, our merchant, who does some spells, but it's mostly like, her bread and butter is a merchant. So I thought it was going to be really focused on her, and it was, but it was also about Mavis, and that's cool. Because Mavis is a fun character, whose backstory is the most straightforward of all of them. Mavis' mother died when she was young. She was raised by a bunch of older brothers and her father, who's like very important, and they want, she wanted to be a knight like them. They want her to be part of regular society. She left to study to be a proper knight by becoming a hunter, which is like the mercenary adventuring class, basically. So her backstory is like the easiest of all of them. So it was fun to have it interwoven a bit with Pauline and her tales of revenge for the people that murdered her father and plotted against him to steal his wealth and take over the town. And she got a modicum of revenge, and it was pretty cool. And also kind of silly in a good way. So there was one moment in the show, because it's pretty lighthearted, right? It's pretty lighthearted in a lot of it. There is some touching stuff. It is more like there are more sad moments than I thought was going to be in the show, which I appreciate and enjoy. One moment that was very funny was the local toughs who were hired, to like beat up strangers or make sure that people are like, aren't there to like stop the bad things that are happening. Lashbrook, at 10 p.m. I had to take a couple of pain relievers, and I took them. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yes, thank you, Lashbrook. Took care of that at 10 o'clock. Yes, I appreciate that. I did take care of that when we took our pause to the cause. But thank you for looking out. But yeah, so they're like, some toughs come up to our ladies, and they're like, oh, we're supposed to whatever. And the ladies are very excited because they're like, oh, great. People we can beat up for information. How convenient. And it was just like obviously over very quick because they know they're tough and people don't know they're tough. So, of course, they kick the crap out of these dudes. And they're just like, yeah, now tell us everything you know. Because, you see some young ladies and you're like hired goons. You think it's going to be real easy to beat up these ladies. Nope. Um, it was fun. It was a fun episode. Uh, this show, like I said, this show does have some lighthearted moments, but also seems to have its moments to just be found family and friendship and all that. It's my favorite isekai of the season, which isn't saying much because the other good isekai is not great, and the other good isekai I don't like, but other people do. And then there are two that are not good. There's one that's like okay, but like hard to recommend, and then one that I think is bad. So like I don't know. There's 5 isekai, and I'm like, one of them is fucking awesome. Like that's tough. I think that's gonna be my next Pat Bear's Anime Club. I have to record my next because it'll come out a week from Monday. The next Pat Bear's Anime Club, and I think I'm gonna finally tackle. So this is a good conversation. Maybe a good conversation for the stream. So should I do my? For those that don't know, I do a thing called Pat Bear's Anime Club. It's every other Monday. It's a YouTube video, and it's just me attempting to sorry, that's the wrong thing. That's a leg piece. Pulled out a leg piece instead of an arm piece. And it's just it's videos of indeterminate length, however long I want it to be, where I talk about an anime topic that I want to talk about. It's long form. I have covered things like the preview of this season of anime, and then a show I'm worried about. I did a thing on horror anime and anime that's not spooky but is themed around Halloween. And in this last episode, I talked about the origins of when I talk about anime clubs and my experiences with anime clubs. So, I've been thinking about my next video, and I have 2 things I've been thinking about doing. One is, should I do a video where I explain what isekai are and the history of isekai? Or, instead, should I do a video just explaining why I like them? Just be like, here's what an isekai is, and then really it's just, why am I watching them? Why do I watch them? And kind of explore the answer to the why. And I don't know, because to me those are 2 different videos. I could, I guess, do both of them in the same video, but it feels like a history lesson is one thing, or a genre explanation is one thing, and then a separate video is like, but why? So I don't know. I've been debating that. I'm going to be recording this on Saturday, so I have time to think about it. Basically, I'm going to record this Saturday. Normally I record them earlier, but I've just been busy, and I like to have my green screen for it, so I'm going to do it on Saturday. But yeah, I've been thinking about that. It's popular in mind. If you have an opinion in chat and you want to let me know, let me know. Anyway, let's go on to One Piece. I'm caught up on One Piece. I watched 2 episodes of One Piece this weekend, last week's and this past weekend's the week before. Look, I think I just flat out said it. It feels real weird that there's time travel in One Piece and Boruto at the same time. And I don't know why, but look, Naruto / Boruto, I understand in that world there was a ninja spell powerful enough to put everyone to sleep and to put them into dream states. Oh, we got a raid. Bad Gunpla just raided. Hello and welcome. Hello, hello, hello. You are here. Welcome. We're building a Kamen Rider. I'm talking about anime. It's a whole thing. Welcome to the stream. Good evening. The Bad Gunpla Squad is here. Well, you've caught me building not a Gundam. I'm not building a Gundam. I'm building a Kamen Rider. He's the Cyclone and the Joker. Double CycloneJoker. Now, if you're going to come into the stream, here's the thing. Yes, one, please don't spam, because Nightbot doesn't like spam. 2, sorry, because Nightbot doesn't like spam. And 3, welcome. And 4, if you want a detailed explanation about whatever the fuck this thing is, I do not know. I know so little about Kamen Rider. I've talked about what I know about it. Oh, you got Skull. Well, that's the thing right there. You already have my favorite Kamen Rider, who I know nothing about except that he's got a skull mask, and then a scarf and a fedora appears, and then at one point I think he's moonwalked. And that, like, I don't know. Maximum Drive, yes. Kamen Rider meets horse, horse meets Kamen Rider. Hello, Sin. Welcome. It's been a little bit. Happy to have you here. You'd like the show. I'm sure I would. My friend Ian is been obsessed with the series like his whole life. Oh, thank you for the follow, Star. Appreciate that very much. He's like loved the show, and so he's very excited that I am checking this out and like building this kit. I got it because this is a Figure-Rise kit. And if you haven't seen these kits, we've done a lot of Dragon Ball. We've done the only Naruto, Teen Naruto. We built that, which I really liked. And then I've just been building the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z kits and loving them. And I wanted to branch out, and this looked cool. And so here we go. But yeah, I know I would enjoy it. I just haven't, had a gateway in. So we were talking about anime that's come out. The Dragon Ball kits are great. All the Goku stuff looks cool. Piccolo was a really fun build. Look. Oh, Perfect Cell. Yeah, Perfect Cell is that is a solid kit too. I mean, I loved building. I really loved working on what kit did I? Which one did I really like? Oh, I really liked doing Trunks, Future Trunks, because you got the big spiky hair, but you could also just do the purple hair, and that was really fun for me. I was just like, oh, it's Trunks, but I made him. I don't know. There's something about it I really like. Yes, Future Trunks. Yeah, that was Future Trunks was a really fun build. And then also like the Piccolo kit comes with a different hair and head for Super Saiyan Gohan, so they can kind of like be paired up, and that was fun. That's a fun little extra, and I was really happy we had Gohan at the time to do that. I thought that was just neat. All right, D31. So talk about the anime that has been out that I'm watching. Like I said, it feels weird that time travel is apparently a thing that happened in One Piece. Characters in One Piece apparently at one point time traveled, because there's a devil fruit that allows you to time travel or to travel people through time. So the last 2 episodes were like, hey, let me tell you about this dude's dad. He was cool. He did a lot of cool stuff. We're bummed that he's gone. He ruled. And he did sound like a cool dude. And it is obviously a shame that he's no longer with us, because it wasn't going to happen. And you got some characters making decisions about, like, we're going to take care of business. I was very disappointed that whatever tiger that had a sword that was attacking Zoro got defeated instantly, and that's over. I know it was filler. Look, I know it was filler. But a tiger that has a sword in its mouth attacking Zoro should be a bigger deal than it was. Even if it's filler, give me a little bit more of that shit. Come the fuck on. They did not come the fuck on. And that's a shame, because it could have been way cooler. So that happened. We got to see... we introduced a frumpy character, Ninja Shinobi. And then Some characters that didn't have cool costumes got cool costumes. It's a whole thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going to come of all of these costumes. We got a sticker to put on here. So we'll put a sticker on. Not a lot happened in those 2 episodes of One Piece. I'm glad I watched them back to back. But a lot of world building. And like I said, you just have to be like, okay. I guess we'll be alright with time travel being a thing that's possible in the world of One Piece. Sure. Alright. And also they explained how the samurai characters got separated because they've talked about them being separated, but not exactly how that happened. So that was kind of a nice little bit of business to be like, oh, well, this is why these characters that we met differently at different times, like this is how they all came together, blah, blah. Not bad. Let's see. And then... Oh! Woo! Look, action isn't necessarily... Some action is heating up in the world of My Hero Academia, but mostly it's feelings of determination and feelings of needing to be more and do better and be more are whelming up in My Hero Academia. Did our Iron Boy get to do some good shit 2 episodes ago with the Fat Man superhero? Yes, he got to do some badass shit. Red Riot got to do some cool stuff. He had a good debut as a hero. Got to look cool and help people. Stars this season. Hello Mojo. Welcome. This season of My Hero has been cool, but it's been a little slow, right? I'm not going to give you any spoilers, right? No spoilers here. We've been introduced to villains. We've been introduced to heroes. There's been some sad moments. I saw there was a Kamen Rider model kit being made, so I jumped in. Well, welcome. I'm indeed working on a Kamen Rider. We're doing the double CycloneJoker. It is a pretty cool looking kit that is coming together pretty nice and smooth. But yeah, so stars, no spoilers. Yeah, no. I'm expecting this to, no, like that's the thing, right? So this arc has been like some character stuff, some growth, some introspection, some characters you weren't expecting to step up, stepping up and doing some interesting things, which is fun. But for a lot of it, like I said, is been building, right? Introduction of new heroes that we didn't know about, and their relationship to the heroes we do know, and much more. I'll say this: a lot of it has been this show has been people. There's been a little bit of a missing thing, right? You gotta help people, right? You gotta help people. You gotta get better. You gotta help people, right? There's hasn't been a lot of here's a person you have to help. The most we got was the Action Cats kid, right? The kid that didn't like heroes. Midoriya protected him and did a damn good job doing it. That's honestly the most because it's just been these are actors, or we have to help the other heroes, or weirdly enough, in My Hero Academia, there's a good portion of My Hero Academia is we gotta save All Might, or at least back him up, or we gotta save ourselves. So they have this season, with no spoilers necessary, has introduced a character that needs help. And it has changed the vibe. And it's a really interesting look at it. hero stuff, right? Yeah. Some not just like learning to be a hero. This season is being a hero, like getting your professional license, doing your internships, like coming up with finishing moves, coming up with like talking to people. Cuz like, they saw touches of it, right? Because they're UA, they had the sports festival, right? And then people started acknowledging like, "Oh, that's a UA student. Oh, my neighbor is a UA student. Cool. Like I saw you on the TV. You blew some stuff up real good." Like that kind of stuff. But then like there's no spoilers indeed, stars. There's a character or Star Spark. There's like a minor character who we never see again. He's probably never going to be again. But he just goes, "I've seen a lot of heroes. All right, what's your name?" And like they're going to get more of that. They're going to get more people who are just like, I pay attention to heroes. So what's your deal? And like, oh, cool. Uh, it's just like a nice couple little moments. Yes, but also like there's definitely like because there's all of this hero worship, right? And hero like fanboyism and hero following in the show, right? So there's gotta be people who are like, I like those heroes that play it cool, that aren't like trying to suck up. I like heroes that don't have time for me. They got stuff to do. They're too busy getting stuff done to be nice. Uh, so I bet there's like a contingent of people out there that will be like real into Bakugo. They're like, in the same way that I'm sure there are people who are just like, because I'm sure there are people who are really into Endeavor, and that guy is clearly an asshole. Like, nope, there can't be people who are just like, there gotta be people who are like, Endeavor rules, and you're like, get out of here. The gag comic, Glassbrook. I haven't checked that out. Text a little on my phone though. Oh yeah. The four-panel gag comic. That sounds fun. I have not seen that. Um, uh, yeah. So I'm sure they're like, look, look. Fire facial hair is always gonna be, look. That's the thing, right? He's still a big, strong dude with fire powers. So like, I'm in. The fire Pokemon are my favorite. Like, I get it. I'm into it. I'm not against it. I just know that that's not a good dude. That's a dude that realized he was never going to be number one the way he was, and instead of trying to better himself or being like, I don't need to be number one, his big plan was, I'll make a new number one. Gross and bad and not good. It's not good at all. Yeah. Someone saying that in universe would be like a warning sign. Yeah, but I'm sure like every hero has like their fans, right? And some of them are, some people like the goofier ones, like in different universe. But Mugen Rider has fans, and that's just a dude on a fucking bicycle. But of course, there are people who are just like, that's my guy. That hero, that's my guy. Obviously a different show. But I'm sure there are people who are like the tree guy. There are probably people who saw him do some. There are probably some people that saw the tree guy in My Hero do some cool stuff and wrap people up, and they were like, "Oh, who's this? Who's this guy? This hero rules." And I bet there's some older people that are around for a long time that are just like, man, when I was younger and I was like, and people were just trying to figure stuff out and heroes were new. Oh man, you should have seen my boy Gran Torino. That guy flew all over the place, kicking people in the face. He was awesome. Like, I'm sure that there were big old Gran Torino fans. There's a short, squat dude that kicks ass, literally kicks it. Like, I'm sure. Because of course there are. I'm sure like every hero has uh, dudes that are just, like, I'm into this. I'm into like, I mean, Night Eye probably has some fans, and I think that is, well, I mean, well, let's be real. Now that I think about it, Gran Torino probably had a sick rider kick. Yeah, probably. Um, but like, Best Jeanist is what is an incredibly popular hero. Best Jeanist, as far as I can tell, is just whatevs. Like, maybe I didn't get to see Best Jeanist be the very best Jeanist he could be, but like, I don't know about that one. That hero always just seemed real weird to me, but like very popular. People are really into that one. I don't know. 6 and 5 always seemed like a weird choice to me. But I also know that if I lived in the world of My Hero Academia, one, I would be always scared because I just know myself, and two, I'd be real into big animal quirks. The bigger the animal quirk, the better. Like, hey, you're a orca that just walks around? Great. This is incredible. This is the best. You're my favorite. That guy's got a bird head. What? Being a bird has nothing to do with his quirk and seems just like an extra thing because his quirk is shadows? Yes, please. But then this person is just a great frog. Like, that's their thing, is they're just awesome at being a frog. Awesome. Great. Sounds rad. Sign me up. So, I appreciate that Centipede Man seems also to be very fancy. I like that a lot. I don't know enough about Centipede Man, other than that he also seems to be quite, like, well dressed. And I can appreciate that. Because to me, that's a guy who's like, I'm a centipede. I, I might as well look good. Like, I don't know. I like that. Doesn't have to do it. I like that a lot. Always into that. I think that's a very fun thing. It's a fun bit of business. Uh, I don't know. All right. Uh, Try to think about if there's anything else I really want to talk about anime wise, and I think that's it. My Hero is good this season. I'm happy about it. One Piece is still fun. I'm not caught up on Boruto. I will. I just haven't really had the drive to catch up on it because that's the show that I've been like, a bunch of episodes came out. Oh, okay, I'll go through them. I think the We're in the Past may have overstayed its welcome a bit, in my opinion. Maybe a few too many episodes of. Because, like I said, Boruto is already, hey, Naruto was pretty cool, right? The show. So to actually time travel to when all those characters were at their most popular feels weird. Uh, Mocho says, I feel like One Piece is that one thing that is always going to be around because it won't don't it won't die probably saying until yeah look, I know what you're saying, Mojo. I get what you're saying. Um, Now it won't be done. Yeah, no, it'll never finish. I think eventually the manga will end, but the anime will have more to do. Because they just want. It's just. It's just so much, and also like they won't stop and take breaks, so there'll be filler. And look, all I know is right now the filler has been pretty good, and there's only been a couple episodes uh, that like I can understand why people be like, no, don't. But for the most part, this new season's really great. Yeah, no, I mean I understand Sin. There's so much One Piece. Um, I do generally recommend the Grand Line Review. The Grand Line Review is a YouTube channel dedicated to One Piece, run by a gentleman who really likes One Piece. He has another channel where he does some other anime stuff, but for the most part, he does Grand Line Review is about that, and he has some explainers, so you can kind of get caught up on some things. He'll talk about lots of stuff. It's a good channel all about One Piece, but his like 8 minutes about the East Blue Saga are like helpful if you were like, I don't know, man, what happened when I was into Four Kids? I remember the Four Kids years. I don't know anything about this. What? Sanji smoked? Not in the version I saw. It's like, okay, here's some stuff about that. You can kind of get a sense of what's going on in the show. Uh, but there's a lot. I mean, look, there's only 100-something episodes of Black Clover, and I understand why people are not going to get caught up on Black Clover. I get that. There's almost 1,000 episodes of One Piece. Don't force, yeah. Get home to One Piece gets the Dragon Ball Kai treatment. Huh. Yeah, I mean that could be interesting. They do love their filler, but I could see them. I don't know. I don't know. Look, the idea of One Piece being sold again, yes, that makes sense to me. People constantly fucking died in Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh yeah, I mean, so yeah. Look, Four Kids. Here's the thing: some of these shows would not have been as popular in the United States if they had been on Toonami rather than on Sunday morning or Saturday morning or whatever, or weekday afternoons, right? Like if I said there is a part of a demographic of people out there, maybe not necessarily you, maybe not people here, that when I say Shaman King, they think of the Four Kids version, and they would have never watched the fan subs of Shaman King. That's the only way they ever would have seen that show. Never been where it got to. And I get that, and I can understand that, and whatever. But I watched a lot of fan subs, poor second generation fan subs of Four Kids shows because I knew that I had been missing out on some stuff. And especially, I mean, as goofy as Luffy, goofy, that was not my intention. As silly as that character is, and he is a very silly character, and as nonsensical as his character is, that show is still very violent, and they had to change a lot of it to make it work. They really, really had to work hard to get it to where it was. And so it's kind of interesting in that respect to look at it and be like, oh, wow, they had changes to make for this. All right, so we got to figure out how this goes on. Or weird things like Cardcaptor Sakura. Yeah, there's Cardcaptor and Cardcaptor Sakura are kind of like different, and that was a weird thing, like how they got that done and what got done and what didn't, and the different Sailor Moon dubs, and and localizations, and then like the Latin American. Like I know a little bit. I don't know a lot about a lot of the Latin dubs. And the Spanish dubs of some of those shows. But I know a little bit because I had friends were who got who watched those because that was what showed up in like those dubs, Spanish dubs or Spanish subtitles are what showed up in the countries they grew up in. So I know a little bit about that. I know that Sailor Moon, Latin American Sailor Moon, is like closer to Japan to the original, but also still really weird in many ways. It's just interesting. Just an odd assortment of things. Uh, Latin dubs are kind of great. Yeah, I mean, like like I said, I don't have a super informative knowledge base about it. Uh, a friend of mine was in one of the fan sub groups that helped out a lot with uh, back in the day. One of his fan subgroups uh, was doing dual translations because they were in Florida, so they were doing English translations or subtitles, say, and they were also doing Spanish language subtitles as well because they had a very big local fan base of Spanish speaking people who were interested in that, and then also because it was Florida, it wasn't them, it was the people they were doing dubs for or subs for, fan subs for, were sending them to other countries for out of Florida. And it became like a whole little business. So there are two interesting things about the Latin American loved anime, hence Toro, big anime thing. Yes, Sin, definitely, big old anime. A big old anime fan. Dragon Ball. Yes. Both Vegetas became localization recording studio moguls. Yeah, I could see that. uh, but yeah, I know that that anime was big business for a number of countries in Latin America. Let's see. But yeah, back in the day, every once in a while you would get a tape and you'd be like, "Hey, you gave me the wrong tape because this is in Spanish." And that's cool, but not for me. I definitely got a few tapes that were wrong. Or, like sometimes you get like you'd be working with a new group that you hadn't worked with before, and they would send you a raw tape. And you were like, "Who are you sending raws to?" And they'd be like, "Oh," and you'd be like, "Okay." Because like the idea of like, because it wasn't a source, you knew it wasn't a source tape. You're like, who are you sending raws to that you accidentally sent to me? What's going on here? Who are you working with? And there'd be like drama about localizers or like my favorite. There was a fan subgroup that would put extensive notes at the end of every tape, right? Uh, and their song was Princes of the Universe, the Highlander theme. So like you'd watch your episode of Shadow Skill or whatever, uh, and that would end, and then Queen would come on, and Princes of the Universe would play, and then there'd be like long notes about like upcoming releases and like, well, we just got a new IRC, so you can come join our channel, uh, and then this one group who's I wish I could remember the name, I can't remember the name. Then they would just talk shit about people. They'd be like, this store is selling tapes and they're copying tapes. They're not reaching out, and these people are doing this. And if you're here and whatever, if you see our tapes in this store in this place in Colorado, you can tell them to go to hell. And you're like, well, all right, I don't know what this drama is. I don't know anything about this drama. Uh, all that stuff. There were a lot of like, Miami Mike and just like a lot of nonsense groups. And because I knew a dude who would give money, he would sponsor. He was a patron of fan subgroups because he would have shows that he wanted to see, and so he would like have deals with groups. They had like, so I would hear about beef that people had and people who sold and people who traded, and I wasn't supposed to go to the comic book shop that I went to because they were getting tapes from New York from like some group that was doing all of this, and like, oh, you shouldn't go there. And I was like, well, that's where I bought Akira, so I'm gonna keep going there. I gotta get my Dragon Ball tapes. Uh, and then the shade against the groups that kept fan subbing. Oh, sin. That is a sin, man. That was the unofficial agreement. The well, we're only fan subbing a show until it has a US distribution. We just want people to know about the show. We're doing them a favor by advertising their show. And now that it's out, we're not going to fan sub anymore. And then there are groups that did. And you can go to like watchnaruto.com and watch the fan subs of Naruto, or get a torrent of Naruto even though the show was still happening. And they were like, oh well, we still distribute but we're not doing any new episodes. Yeah, and there were groups that are like, I mean, uh we aren't stealing because they aren't ever gonna, yeah, Alien 14. And obviously there are some shows that did never come out here, but then there were other shows that were like, yeah, no, you can't just sell a VHS tape of Cowboy Bebop subtitles. Like, no, you don't get to do that. You can't just be like, yeah, we're just gonna sell this. It's not even a fan sub. No, you're just selling a VHS copy of Silent Mobius because you stole the DVDs of Silent Mobius, a show that I don't know why someone bothered to actually license, but they did. I got 4 episode OVA for 14-year-old girls fighting aliens with head crabs. Yeah, I mean, look, there are shows. Look, hey, don't get me wrong, folks. There are shows that don't get distribution, that maybe get limited distribution, or they're in this nebulous world where they had distribution, but they don't anymore. Like, I talked about that anime Karen, Clumsy Vampire or whatever. That's not a show you can legally watch anywhere. It was there was a fan sub of it. It got licensed. The fan sub theoretically went away because it was getting licensed, and then it came and went. The company literally like declared bankruptcy. So like you can't just like chill watch that on a streaming service. I watched a fan subbed baseball anime. I'm gonna look up the name of it. I think it's called One Outs. Is that the name of it? Yeah. Yes, the One Outs. Or not the One Outs. One Outs. As far as I know, that they're uh yeah, that came out in 2009 and was not released in the United States. 2008, I should say. That has a really great 2008 year. Like, its opening song is like, uh, it's a it's a weird. It's a good show. It's fine, but it just didn't come out. Uh, yes, you're totally right, Sin. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff that just doesn't exist anymore. And then eventually someone might pick it up or get the rights through catalog distribution, or like just whatever. Or it just suddenly shows up on torrent sites. But there was like a friend of mine, this was, whatever, last year, 2 years ago, was like, oh yeah, I'm watching a show that I'm going the torrent route because it's on Anime Strike, so. And I was like, I mean, just say that you don't want to pay for Anime Strike, but like, Don't be like, you know. I do know. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, you don't want to pay for... You didn't want to pay for Anime Strike. You want to watch your side story from Don Machi, and you know, you didn't want to pay for it. Like, yeah, I get that. Like, yeah, all right. I get it. Uh, what is it? Uh, that Gundam X Blu-ray come out in the U.S. Because that was coming out, right? Because when that Gundam X Blu-ray comes out, that's the first time you can watch it legally in the U.S. You couldn't before until like this Blu-ray. You couldn't. Gundam X was never licensed in the United States, so you just couldn't watch it for years and years and years. And now you can if you buy it, you know, whatever, because it just didn't come out. It's like a Gundam show that they didn't market to everyone in the world. Reasons, but also, yeah. Sharks. 2K is here. Pat, this is creepy. I was thinking of a Kamen Rider W in the shower this morning. Now I come home from work and you're making a model of it. Sharks, that's a little creepy. Maybe it was just in the air. Maybe you caught a tweet that I put out today. But yeah, it's time. I've been loving these kits in the Dragon Ball sense, and we did the one available Naruto, and it was long overdue for me to do something from this series. I am looking forward to it. But yeah, that is odd that you were thinking about it in the shower. As I said, don't know a lot about Kamen Rider, but I am excited to build this kit because it's been a fun build so far. And obviously, we're going to finish this on Wednesday because we've got some left to build, but not a lot. And then we'll move on to the Going Merry. We've already done the Thousand Sunny. Now it's time to go back in time to the Going Merry. Oh, we did Law's ship as well. The Polar... The Polar, I can't remember, and it maybe doesn't sound great, so that's why I kind of don't remember, and why I wasn't really saying what it was called, because I remember it being not a great name. Whatever, we built that one. It was fine. All right, so 21 is this one here. I forget the name of Law's ship, the submarine, but that was fun. So yeah, we're gonna do the Going Merry. That'll be a fun kit to build. Sub for the creepy vibes. Yeah. I just can't remember. Oh, I do remember. It's not bad, but it does sound not great. The name of Law's submarine is the Polar Tang. So it's not a great name. Also, I can't believe I forgot the name Polar Tang. But I definitely did forget it. Because I had to think about it. And go, what was that name? Because it's not great, but it's not... it's certainly worse. And okay. And I've certainly said worse. And okay. Yeah, it was that. All right. Legs are done. We're getting ready to start building. We got to build the waist and the whatever the fuck the name of the thing is that they put memories into, so that they can combine and transform. And I don't remember the name of these. Sorry, I apologize. I'm not trying to talk shade. I literally just don't remember the name of the thing. I know that sometimes they're very complicated, and there's some stickers that are going to go onto these things. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the belt. Other than it's the only red, and it's a good looking red. Really nice deep red. Gaia Memories. Thank you, stars. Thank you, star. Gaia Memories. Driver. Yes, the memories. Yes, it's the memory driver. They got to put the memory. They got to put the Gaia memories in the memory driver, and then they can transform into Kamen Riders. Uh, Look, I'm mostly just excited. Like, I'm excited to put this together, but if you think I'm not going to do this thing where it separates and looks like it's two halves, like a weird thing, and you get to see the stickers of, like, the memories or whatever, like, yeah, I'm going to separate this. I'm going to take it apart and make it look all weird. Of course, I'm going to do that. It's real strange and odd. I've got to do that. All right. Talk about what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is end the stream. So, my next build stream is Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Those that are new that came in from the raid, if you want to see me build model kits, you want to see me finish this kit, please come on Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the next part of our stream. But I will be streaming tomorrow. So if you want to have a fun time tomorrow night and play some Jackbox Party Pack 6 with me, do some jokes on a boat, which is my favorite of the games, and maybe we'll do some Dictionarium or something. I don't know, because that one's fun too. But we're going to play some Jackbox games tomorrow. We're going to do Party Pack 6 because, hey, I bought it, so I'm going to play it. Thank you, everybody that hung out all night. Harold, I know you're on vacation this week, so it's rad that you get to hang out for the whole stream. That's always nice. And if I don't see you tomorrow for some games, I hope I see you on Wednesday for the next build stream, because I'm taking Thursday off, which is American Thanksgiving, because I need to not do that. And I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Dr. Jones, you have a great Thanksgiving too. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Oh, yeah, I'm going to run an ad. Maybe you'll see that ad. Maybe you won't. But I don't know. Running that ad means I can make a little bit of money. So, ad. Bye-bye.